Hi everyone, Lawrence here with another fantastic episode of the Consulate Series 2025 of the Global Trade Show. I'm here in Adelaide with Sossy Msomi, who's the consul here for Tanzania. Sossy, wonderful to meet you. Thank you for joining us.
Good to meet you, Lawrence.
Likewise. So Sossy, please tell us about yourself and, obviously a passion for trade and all things Tanzania and Australia.
Look, as consul for Tanzania, my role is to promote business between Tanzania and Australia, of course. And Australia has got many opportunities for Tanzania, and I believe very strongly that Tanzania has the same, for Australia.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is to get these two together and make sure that we improve business and trade that is already happening.
Wonderful. And I understand you've only just landed back again for a trip recently, for only a few days ago. So thank you for being so generous with your time today.
No, that's fine. I thought this was a good opportunity to talk about Tanzania and for you, to make sure that the Australian public understands what is Tanzania and what is available in Tanzania.
Yeah. Well, it's great that you've been back so recently because obviously it's, I'm sure things are evolving and developing so quickly that it's great to get back and reconnect and see for yourself how things are changing.
Absolutely.
So on that note, let me ask, what are the key industry sectors that you believe highlights or we need to create awareness for here in Australia with Tanzania?
Agriculture is by far the largest sector of the economy. I think agriculture is about 50% of our GDP. So agriculture is the main. But we have mining, we have tourism, we have construction, we have, manufacturing. Yeah. All those present massive opportunities for investors from within and outside of Tanzania.
Yeah, correct. Well, I know that construction is not as big as it used to be in Australia, but those others are big synergetic markets where there's a lot of opportunities to collaborate, opportunities to do export trade, but also JVs and R&D sharing as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Now, basically, how can we, as Australia, look at Tanzania not just as Tanzania the country, but as a gateway to the larger continent?
So Tanzania borders a total of, the land border of Tanzania is with 7 countries.
Wow.
6 of them are totally landlocked. And so Tanzania is the gateway for all these 6 countries. Over the last years, we have constructed railway lines, roads that actually connect Tanzania and these countries to facilitate and strengthen supply chains between those countries for export purposes, of course. We have 3 big ports in Tanzania that all transport export goods from the region via Tanzania.
Wow. Well, as you say, those landlocked countries rely so heavily then on that port and supply chain infrastructure.
Sure.
Yeah. One of the policies being such a pivotal part, I'm sure Tanzania as a country has got some great trade policies or incentives to try and attract overseas business. Can you share some light on that?
Yeah. So since the 1980s, Tanzania has adopted market-driven policies, which means we have policies that focus on the private sector and private investment, which is different from what it used to be prior to that, which was state-controlled economy. The policies are very conducive for investors internally and obviously international investors as well.
Yeah. Well, I think as we talked about before we actually were on camera, I think there's such a great opportunity to increase awareness here in Australia for the opportunities for sourcing, for exporting, to partnerships with tourism, all those type of wonderful things with Tanzania. So it's really great to showcase some of those. What are the best ways that we can strengthen those relationships and increase awareness? I mean, I know you touched on there might be some delegations coming this year as well in 2025. Maybe share some of your thoughts and insights.
Tanzania is a member of the Commonwealth of Nations, which Australia is a member as well. So we have that common membership of the Commonwealth of Nations, and we also are members of the United Nations. So we meet with Australia at government level on those two main forums.
Yes.
We have a few delegations. We've had a few delegations coming over. This was probably 10 years ago. But, we haven't had any other delegation apart from visits by the High Commissioner who is based in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Our accredited High Commissioner to Australia is actually our ambassador in Tokyo.
Wonderful, right?
Yes. So every time he comes here, we usually take him around for, promotion meetings and conferences and stuff like that. But other than that, we haven't had a big, major promotion, within Australia.
Yeah.
This year, in September, we have a big delegation coming in. So in Tanzania, we have an organization called the Tanzania Investment Center. This is a government body that actually is focused on promoting Tanzania and showcasing the opportunities that are available in Tanzania to the outside world, mostly. So we think that this is, an opportune time for them to come over to Australia and visit some of our cities here. I know because of the geographical mass of Australia, we probably won't be able to visit all of them. But at this stage, they've earmarked visiting Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, possibly Hobart.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And maybe Perth.
Yep.
Yes. But definitely Brisbane and Sydney is on the cards.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, I know that one of the key sports in Tanzania, this is not a pre-rehearsed question, but I want to ask you about, Australia, as you know, we're sport man.
Yes.
Here, and you're a South Australian, so you get to decide between the Adelaide Crows or
absolutely.
So tell us a bit about your personal preference for sport and maybe what things that we can relate to.
Look, we've had, I personally, my journey to understanding Aussie rules took me quite a while when I came here to understand the game. But look, once you understand the game, it's very, you get into it.
Yeah.
And I love, the Crows here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I like local teams.
Yeah.
So if the Crows are playing, then I would probably support them.
Slightly before
the port. Yes. But they are wonderful teams.
Yeah.
And they've done great, wonders.
Things like Commonwealth, do they play rugby? Do they play cricket? I don't know. There's something.
So in Tanzania, probably the biggest game is soccer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, soccer, football.
Yeah.
You probably understand, one of, there's a young boy here who came here as a refugee from Tanzania. He's from Burundi. Two, actually. One of them plays for Coastal Mariners, and the other one used to play for Adelaide.
Oh, really? Adelaide United.
Adelaide United. I think he's now in Germany or some other country, but he plays for the Socceroos as well.
Correct.
Yeah. So we are pretty good in soccer, although we have probably not invested much in the sport. Obviously, as a developing country, we have so many other things to look after.
A lot of things happen.
We would like to get everything going at the same time, but sometimes it's not easy because of the challenges of the budget and stuff like that.
Sure. Consul, you talked also about, again, off air, the great thing about Tanzania is its history of stability and the offers as that gateway. Sorry, I know I'm coming back to that, but it just reminded me when you talk about the sport, the other areas, that it is such a great springboard country to really, for Australia to look into that whole African market.
One of the unique features of Tanzania is that it's a very secure country. So we got independence in 1961 from the British. we were, under the British at the time, after the Germans were kicked out during First World War.
World War I, yeah.
Yes. But we've never had any issues, any internal troubles. We speak one language.
Yeah.
We are just one country, and probably the safest country in that region. So if you look at the map of where Tanzania is and look around, the countries around it, there have been some issues like hotspots of tribal friction during elections or whatever with our neighbors. Yeah. But in Tanzania, we've hardly had any. So we're very safe. And most of our neighbors look up to Tanzania when they have trouble in their countries. They come to Tanzania for safety. Yes, and then they go back.
Yeah. And also, I think correct me if I'm wrong, one of the great things about the Commonwealth heritage, if you like, is that the rule of law, the way that you can do agreements and contractual structures are very similarly developed. So from Australian businesses' perspective, they're used to that Commonwealth rule of law in that framework. Would that be the same in Tanzania?
That is very correct, because we basically have, the basis of our laws are
the same
very similar. Yeah. So, and the basis of our governments are very, very similar. In fact, some of our rule laws are probably based on Australian. Yeah. I know, for example, in the construction industry, I think we have copied some of your, building code here.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, we share those values together, and the background of, the, Commonwealth family.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, finally, one of my last questions is, have you got any Australian companies or case studies between Tanzania and Australia that, you'd like to tell us about?
We have a lot of mining companies, and most of them based in WA.
Okay. Yeah.
That have businesses in Tanzania. Mining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them, some of the companies are here in South Australia, but very few. But if you look at the staffing, most of the officials in the mining industry, most of them have either worked in Tanzania or have visited.
That's true. Yeah, that's right.
Yes. So, we happen to have basically the same minerals that you have here in Tanzania, because I think, I understand Tanzania actually broke out. Oh, no, Australia broke out from that part of the world. Yeah. And so it's basically we have the same sort of minerals. We have gold, we have uranium, we have oil, we have gas, but we also have Tanzanite. I think you probably...
we don't have that.
No, we don't have that. No one else has Tanzanite except Tanzania. So that's quite... I know some people like Tanzanite for, and we have a lot of other precious stones as well.
And rare earths as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think, we're really looking forward to this delegation coming up later in the year.
Yeah.
I think, from this episode, hopefully a lot of you can see to reach out, find out more about all these opportunities, some of these industry sectors. You do a wonderful job, Sossy, for really being that great conduit between trade, investment, tourism as well.
Tanzania is very big in tourism. As you know, we have the Mount Kilimanjaro, which is the tallest single lone mountain in the world, and we have, and that's very popular. A lot of mountains go to climb it, and so we have the Serengeti, and we have the exotic islands of Zanzibar, which are very popular. A couple of years ago, just prior to COVID, I was issuing visas.
Oh, really?
For Australian travelers to Tanzania, and there was quite a big number of Australians visiting Tanzania. Even now, they're still going, because the visa system has now changed from being issued from the consulate to an online service.
Okay.
Yes, so it's much easier these days. But when they encounter any issues, they give me a call, and then we go together through the process. But I think one of the industries that attract Australians is people visit for go to the Serengeti for safari, game. They go to Zanzibar for for the beaches, and it's an exotic place, as you know. And we have the Ngorongoro crater, which is quite unique in the world. And I think, someone who has never been to the Serengeti, most of Australians who visit Tanzania are repeat visitors.
Really?
Yes.
They can't see it all in one trip. You're going to keep going back.
That's right. So they
definitely make me want to go. So, I've always wanted to see a safari Serengeti.
Yeah.
I think, as you said, it's such a beautiful country and so unique in that location.
Yes.
It'd be wonderful. And
absolutely. Yeah.
Great. Well, no, I think and as you said, I think so many people go for tourism and they'll probably come back with business ideas and made connections and relationships. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you again, Consul. It was great to share your time and insights with us. Really looking forward to hearing and seeing much more with Tanzania, and with us on the channel. We'd love to support you. So please reach out how we can showcase more opportunities with Tanzania.
Thank you so much for your time, and thanks, Pauline, and thanks, Lawrence, for giving me the opportunity.
Our pleasure
to be on your program.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.